प्रोजैक्ट गोस्ट तहत पील रीजनल पुलिस वालों वड्डी कार्रवाई की गई है। यह वड्डा अपराधिक नैटवर्क ग्रेटर टोरांटो एरिया दे विच 15 तो वध हिंसक घरां दे विच वड़ के तोड़-फोड़ करन अते लग्जरी वाहनां दीआं चोरियां दे लई जिम्मेवार सी। जांच दे विच 1.8 मिलियन दी चोरी जायदाद जब्त की गई है। प्रोजैक्ट गोस्ट पील पुलिस वालों चलाया गया एक साल लंबा जांच प्रोजैक्ट सी, जिसका मकसद एक संगठित अपराधिक टोली नूं नष्ट करना सी, जो कि पील अते आस-पास के खेतरां दे विच घरां दे विच हिंसात्मक घुसपैठां, लग्जरी कारां दी चोरी, सोने गहणियां दी लुੱਟ अते गोलीबारी दे विच शामिल सी। पील पुलिस ने कई घरां दे हमलिਆਂ अते घर चोरी नाल जुड़े एक संगठित अपराध समूह की जांच दे विच दोषी ठहराए गए 13 लोकां बारे अपडेट सांझी करन दौरान की कुछ कहते नजर आए, सुनदे हां।
A big thank you to the Peel Regional Police, Deputy Chief Milovich, one of the smartest minds in the country when it comes to combating organized crime. You take any difficult investigation, the Peel Regional Police can solve it. I like to say, and I've said it many times, the best we see in PRP. I'm joined here today from Brampton from Councillor Santos and Councillor Tour. I know the initial incident occurred in the wards of Councillor Santos. And to Chief Nish, we've got a tremendous Chief of Police, and I know the confidence he has in Deputy Chief Milovich is well warranted, because it's investigations like this that speak to the sophistication of Peel Regional Police. The success of Project Ghost is not just a policing victory, it is a community safety milestone for Brampton, the Peel region, and the broader GTA, as you can hear, the regions affected. This investigation involved more than a dozen incidents: home invasions, stabbings, shootings, and coordinated luxury vehicle thefts. These were not random acts. This was organized crime. It was deliberate, it was violent, and it was terrifying for the victims involved. As our deputy chief said, just imagine being that family, having the door knocked down, how the nightmares, those children would have for weeks, months, and years to follow. What's even more disturbing about this network is the exploitation of youth, recruiting minors to carry out dangerous crimes. Absolutely disgusting. It's a wake-up call for all of us. Organized crime is not just a big city problem. It's not just something you see in movies. It's here. And organized crime will exploit any loophole they see in policing or in the criminal code and take advantage of that. You see that with the exploitation of youth. And this is why I'm so grateful for the leadership of Peel Police, for taking swift, strategic, and effective action. This is exactly why you invest in policing, to make sure they have the capacity to respond. These arrests and the 197 charges laid send a very clear message. If you bring violence to our neighborhoods, if you exploit youth, and if you think you can act with impunity, think again. You will be arrested and charged and face our justice system. Families in Peel Region deserve to feel safe. And I think we're all going to sleep a little bit better tonight knowing the success of Project Ghost. So on behalf of the residents of Brampton, I wanted to say thank you to Chief Nish and his team, Deputy Chief Milovich, and to everyone involved in Project Ghost for this very impressive and successful investigation. Today is another great day for public safety in the GTA.
Project Ghost was oriented towards a group, an organized criminal network that was targeting our community through home invasions in order to steal their cars. These were incredibly violent home invasions, primarily happening at night, and were creating some real concerns in our community, mostly in Mississauga, but in Brampton as well, and resulted in almost 200 charges, 13 people arrested, and really the destruction of a criminal network that was trying to take advantage of our community and traumatizing people. Yeah, we're going to do a lot more of this. Peel's not the place to do this type of crime. You can expect to see us here very shortly, again, talking about a very similar project. We are going to continue with the enforcement, but what we're going to do is we're going to work with our elected officials, like the councillors that showed up here from Brampton. Councillor Tour was here. Like, we've got a lot of momentum and support from not just elected officials, but our community. So we're going to fill the gaps. We're going to look for the opportunities to make it better for our community so they experience this less and we don't have to chase the bad guys.
ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਪੀਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਵਧਾਈ ਦੇਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਟਿਵ ਟੀਮ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਇਸ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਨੂੰ ਤੋੜਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਸ਼ਰਮਨਾਕ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਗੈਂਗਸਟਰਸ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਛੋਟੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਕੋਈ 15 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ, ਕੋਈ 16 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਸਨ। ਬਟ ਥੈਂਕਫੁਲੀ ਪੀਪਲ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਨੂੰ ਤੋੜਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ। ਦੈਟ ਇਨਸ਼ੋਰਸ ਨਾਟ ਜਸਟ ਸੇਫਟੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਲਈ, ਬਟ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਇਹ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਹੋਮ ਇਨਵੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਨਾਲ ਟਾਰਗੇਟ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ। ਆਪਾਂ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕੇ ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਕਹਿ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਡਾਕਾ ਮਾਰਨਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ਾ ਤੋੜ ਕੇ ਘਰੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਦਹਿਸ਼ਤ ਫੈਲਾਉਣੀ, ਦੈਟਸ ਹੋਰੇਬਲ। ਤੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਸ਼ਹਿਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਪਾਵਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਰਲ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਮੇਕ ਸ਼ੋਰ ਕਿ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਰੋਕਿਆ ਜਾਵੇ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਇਨੋਸੈਂਟ ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਟਸ ਦਾ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ਾ ਆ ਕੇ ਖਟਖਟਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲ ਐਕਟੀਵਿਟੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਗਾਰੰਟੀ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਪੁਲਿਸ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ੇ ਤੇ ਜਲਦ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ।
I'm very happy. It's a good day that we see that we managed to offer the resources to the Peel Police to be able to do investigation, to be able to go after organized crime, because organized crime getting more and more complex and they need the resources to follow up. Things are much easier now with an email or text message, so it's not as difficult as before to create a group or to create an organized crime in a piece of cake, especially if you involve youth. And that's actually multifaceted issue we need to address, and we are addressing it as a government. I just need to put the attention in few things. When somebody say, I'm looking for a house, I'm looking for a good neighborhood. What's the definition of good neighborhood? Safe neighborhood. It's a neighborhood which you feel safe to go to work and leave your family behind, and you are sure that they are not going to be at risk. So it's actually hurting our economy, hurting our growth in Mississauga, because people, if they feel that Peel region is not safe, they are going to pick another location to be there. This is one aspect of it. Second aspect of it, when we actually look to the police, which people send me videos all the time saying, oh, why the police officer didn't run after him and caught him or whatever. Why you think a police officer will risk his life to go after a criminal if he already have the videos and everything? Why he would risk his life to go after a criminal when he know that in 2 hours he'll be out? This is actually demoralizing for our police, asking too much from our police if we don't have the backing legislatively to their efforts. When we even talk to victims saying, how come I see the guy who did the offense 3 hours, I saw him in the street walking behind my neighborhood? Well, if you talk to the judicial system, they say we are using your laws. We are following the laws. If you want him behind bars, change the law. Make sure that we have the authority to put him behind bars. And that's what the bill reform federally we have been asking for. All the 13 mayors have been asking for. There's no chance we can do any restrictive punishment if people know that they will go out.
Peel Police, again, are doing incredible work in the city of Brampton and region of Peel to crack down on organized crime, violent crime in our city. In fact, one of the examples of those home invasions happened in the area where I represent. And residents in the area over the past number of years have been terrified by these home invasions and auto thefts. And again, another incredible announcement by Peel Regional Police cracking down on these criminals. I think one of the most concerning things that we have to watch out for is the fact that these criminals are preying on young people who are vulnerable, trying to get them into crime, violent crime, and home invasions. That needs to stop. And so we need to make sure we support Peel Police and the efforts that they are making in these investigations to take these criminals out of our community.
The Peel Police did a tremendous job dismantling an entire organized crime. It's going to keep our community safe, it's going to keep our streets safe, our homes safe. But the main problem we have in this country, not just this province, is we need meaningful bail reform. Because you know what? A lot of these guys might be out on bail again to commit more crimes. So deterrence is gone. Once you get arrested for violent crime or you're a repeat offender, you should stay behind bars so our community stays safe.
देखिए एज अ बोर्ड मेंबर आज हम बहुत प्राउड हैं बिकॉज ये चीज़ें हम बैक में देखते हैं. हम ट्रूली, जैसे मेयर ब्राउन ने आज कहा है, एंड आई विल स्टील हिज लाइन, कि Peel में is the best of the best when it comes to investigation. And आज आप एक और एग्जांपल दे रहे हैं, as you know many announcements इनकी आ रही हैं, but ये continued examples हैं जो हमारा Peel Police, Detective Milanovic, Chief Nishan Duryapa and the whole team is to say जब crime इधर होता है, that crime will not stay. They are involved, they're engaged, they're tracking and they're arresting. इसके लिए हम बहुत proud हैं as board members because this is ultimately the results. And I think beyond that आप ये भी देख रहे हैं कि जो highest hiring इस year हुई है, 300 officers, and thank you to region appeal for investment में, but अब results अब और faster देख रहे हैं. You know, I'll tell you something हम learn करा है कि ये लोग कभी कभी एक साल spend करते हैं tracking पर. And जब ये investigations होती हैं, it's not just oh ये बंदा है, ये हो रहा है. They have to track all footage, tracking, कहाँ से आया है, कहाँ तक गया है. All this work gets put into it, then the arrests happen. But now you're seeing the results much faster, and for that we thank for that investment. And I hope हमारी तरफ से और भी चीज़ें ऐसे आप देखें, and results ऐसे आप और continue देखें, because देखिए I'm a Peel person, मैं इधर ही पूरा life अपनी रही हूँ, and I continue to live here. This is my home, and I want to live in a safe home.
Listen, today, Project Ghost was another example of Peel Regional Police and the Police Service Board having zero tolerance for the types of crimes that are taking place in our community. Over the past couple of years, the board and Peel Regional Police have invested record numbers of resources towards making our residents feel safe. Being terrorized in your home, especially at night, is something that's not going to happen in Peel under the watch of our Chief Nish and Deputy Milanovic and the dedicated investigators that you saw here today from Central Robbery. There's a reason that we're investing what we're investing in Peel Regional Police. We want more frontline officers. We want to be able to send the message to our residents that Peel is a safe place to live and to work, but it also sends a message to those that think that they can profit off of our residents that in Peel, if you're going to commit these types of crimes, if you're going to set up these criminal networks, you're going to be caught, you're going to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Yeah, so in the city of Mississauga, I represent Clarkson and Lorne Park, and it's been a very difficult time over the last several months where a lot of home invasions have been happening and people are afraid and they've been held at gunpoint, they've been tied up, and they've had their property stolen. So we need to do more. And so we've been putting in more resources at the Region Appeal, making sure that the police are fully funded so that they can have the tools to fight this crime. We also need our residents to step up as well, make sure their homes are safer, keep their cars in their garages, keep their keys away from their front door, and really try to deter the crime from happening in the first place. But at the end of the day, it's our responsibility to keep the community safe by funding the police and making sure that they have the tools to fight this crime.
So Project Ghost एक बहुत ही सक्सेसफुल ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਦੱਸਣ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਇਹ 15 ਜਾਣੇ ਸੀ ਹੋਮ ਇਨਵੇਸ਼ਨ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਡਾਕੇ 'ਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਪਰਚੇ ਲਗਾ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਹਨ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕੁਝ ਮਹੀਨਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਇਹ ਜੋ ਸ਼ੱਕੀ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਹਨ ਇਹ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਡਾਕੇ ਮਾਰਦੇ ਸਨ ਹਿੰਸਾ ਜਾਂ ਵਾਇਲੈਂਸ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੁੱਟਮਾਰ ਵੀ ਈਵਨ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਇੱਕ ਇਨਸੀਡੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੂਟਿੰਗ ਵੀ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਹੋਈ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਸੋ ਇਹ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਹਾਈ ਐਂਡ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਗਹਿਣੇ ਜੁਐਲਰੀ ਦੀ ਚੋਰੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਸੋ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣ 'ਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ 15 ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਇਸ ਕ੍ਰਾਈਮ ਗੈਂਗ 'ਚ ਇਨਵੋਲਵ ਸੀਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਰੈਸਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਪਰਚੇ ਲਗਾ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਹਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ 200 ਪਰਚੇ ਲਗਾਏ ਹਨ ਅਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਾਈ ਅਮਾਊਂਟ ਦੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਰਟੀ ਵੀ ਸੀਜ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ
Well, thank you very much for asking me that question. And I have to apologize. I was at another event that was a Solicitor General event. So I'm just here at the tail end of the press conference. But what I would like to say is that certainly it's a fear of everyone. Fear of not just the higher income homes, but every home is afraid of someone invading their space. And I'm very happy to see that the police, the Peel Police, are on top of this. And it's something that I commend them for everything they do every day for us.